Today we're making moody fall decor with thrifted pants. Keep watching. I'm Brandy, and this is Making It My Own DIYs. Welcome. We're going to start off with a Dollar Tree pumpkin wreath. Going to need some very sharp scissors, sewing scissors probably, some clamps, mine are from Dollar Tree. You're going to need some ribbon of your choice. This is some black satin. We have some black velvet, and then some wired black velvet. You just make your decision what you like. Some moody colored fall leaves. So I'm thinking, you know, those beautiful jewel tones, burgundy and purples. I've got some paper here that looks like it's old. Here's that Dollar Tree wreath form. I've made these many, many times. And a pair of thrifted pants. Now I'm going to have two. I have a black pair and this is like a maroon type color, maybe a wine color. We're going to start with the wine color on this one, and I'm going to cut it out. First, I'm cutting it right down the front seam. Trimmy, trim, trim, and you can see my scissors are not sharp because these are craft scissors and they're not sewing scissors. I'm still on the lookout. I just haven't bought them yet. I need to get some better scissors. I know y'all. Y'all just do better than me, okay? So you can see how I've opened this up, and I'm going to cut it right down the middle. So right down the front center seam, right down the back center seam. That's what we're looking for, because we're going to use one of these pants legs, and this just makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to trim it off where I just have the leg, and I'm going to put it on this form. Now I first put it on the form without anything underneath, just right on the wire, because I want to show you why we want to line this first. So I'm just fitting it on here and just looking at it, getting an idea of the size. It's going to be perfect. This is a size medium pants, just in case you need that reference while you're thrifting. These are very stretchy, like a velour, I guess you could say. We're going to call it velvet though. All right, you see how it sticks up even when you do it tightly. If you do it too tight, it's going to deform the shape of the wreath. So we're going to take one of these cloths that's a car washing cloth from Dollar Tree. It's the little white cloth with the fuzz on it, kind of furry like. And we're going to use this to line this first, make it nice and soft, and to not distort our frame before we put it back in the pants leg. Now I like to use my clamps to hold everything in place and to make sure that I have it centered. I'm making sure when I pull it that I don't pull it too tight and squish the form or make it sink down into the depressions between each one
Get
of those
ready
pieces
for
of
the
wire.
ultimate Christmas crafting experience. Join Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs, Brandy from Making It My Own DIY, Kendra from Late Night Creations, and Kay and Trish from Crafting Cousins for Christmas Crafting Live. We will have two themes, Santa and Nativity. Purchase your kit now by clicking the link below. Deadline to order kits is Monday, September 2nd to ensure we can get yours to you in time for the party. Christmas Crafting Live, Saturday, September 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Further details will be in the description box below for you. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going around using my clamps and making sure I have a nice padded rounded surface. Now that is exactly the look that I am going for. This is going to give it that padding underneath. Now protect your fingers and you can go around and start adding your hot glue. And you could trim up after you get your glue on here. I'm going to overlap a little bit onto that wire and then some onto the fuzz. And these little furry things work really well for this. One, because they're thick, and two, because of the nap on here. It's like a deep nap. It grabs onto that glue and holds it right there in place where it needs to be. So it works perfect for me for this purpose. If you don't have one of these, just run to Dollar Tree. They're $1.25 unless things have changed. Or think of something else that you might have that's thick that you can use. Maybe you could even double up and use the same pair of pants, use one pants leg on there and then double up and put another one on top. That would work. But this doesn't have stretch in it and the pants do. So they want to kind of stretch over the frame and I don't like the look of that. But feel free to do it that way if you would like. Now once you have it all the way around, you can take your clamps off. We're just kind of using the clamps to hold things in place. You know how you put on stockings, y'all? You know how you put your hands down in there and grab it up? Or you put a pillow in the pillowcase? What it's like here. It's kind of like what we're doing. And I'm trying carefully not to break my frame because sometimes these wreath forms will snap. I haven't had one happen yet, thankfully. Thankfully. Hey, if you are enjoying this video so far and you like more of a budget friendly but unique look, I would love it for you to subscribe to my channel where you will always get lots of inspiration and encouragement along the way. Okay, so I just brought that right over the top of the stem as well. Once I know how much I'm going to need, I'll leave myself about 1.5 inches, 2 inches excess on both sides and trim it down. Then I'm going to, you can see, I'm just going to kind of get my form to make sure it's perfect on both sides and hold it in place so I don't pull anything out while I'm gluing the other side. Push them down, just kind of pulling it to the back, but just kind of laying it toward the back, not really pulling it tightly. I'm getting an idea of where I want my stem to come out, kind of giving it some room there because we're going to be cutting a little slit. And then go around to the other side and do that one. And then when I know I have enough to glue onto the back, we'll be ready to go with the glue. And yes, I'm wearing my Charlie Brown It's the Great Pumpkin t-shirt. I have two of them, one in black and one in brown. And I felt like it's August, I wanted to wear my brown, right? So I've cut a little slit and I'm just going to slide the stem through there and then adjust my clamps. Everything is nice and smooth. I'm going to make sure that the seams from the pants are on the bottom and on the top where they're not going to be seen. All right, and to glue this on the back. You can sew if you want to sew, but I don't want anything showing on the front side. I want it to be smooth. So I'm just tucking under and kind of rolling and tucking, putting the glue in and then pinching it together and having the clamp. So it's flat on the bottom. I'm rolling the top. Gonna add a little bit of glue, then press that together, put the clamp on it. I'm gonna continue around doing it just like that. Okay, it's August. Who's putting their fall decor up? Do you do your fall decor first or are you doing your Halloween decor first? Decisions, right? There's so many options. This is just why we love this season, right? This is why we love it. So I'm going to continue to go around here with our beautiful little wine-colored pumpkin, burgundy, wine, maroon, whatever color you want to make this. I'm placing this down. I got this in the thrift haul that I showed y'all on my channel. If you want to go and watch that thrift haul to see what else I got, feel free to run over there. But I got this, the same, both the pants in the same trip. And this is going to give you a nice even back. Now, the thing is, you're going to see a little bit of glue most likely. You could always use sewing glue. Remember, for time's sake for y'all, I have to do something quicker so you can see the video, right? So that's why I use the hot glue. But you can go back over it with a little paint because it's going to be kind of messy looking in the back. No matter how careful you are, it's going to be a little messy. Or you can just line the back with something else. I'm going to have mine against the wall, so it won't matter. All right, I'm going to take that thinner satin ribbon and we're going to use that to make the stem. You don't have to be too particular. You can use jute. You can use whatever you want. I just thought the look of this was a little bit better for Moody decor. I didn't want it to look boho or rustic because it's moody. So I thought the satin with the velvet would be really pretty. And I'm just wrapping and trying to make sure that when you wrap, if you go round and around in exact circles, all you're going to do is cover the bottom. You're going to have to like jump up a little bit, just like this with the glue, just like that. Oh, excuse me, a little cough, a little dust in here. Got a lot of stuff out of the closets to get decor going and to get my house decorated and got a little dust stirred up. Okay, sorry about that. So you're going to just continue to wrap that around there until all of your wire is covered. And then, of course, you can trim off any excess. Right. So far, so good. So now that that pumpkin is together, we're going to start thinking of how we're going to decorate it. I knew I wanted to make some leaves with this paper. I've seen this on Pinterest where, you kind of cut out leaves from any type of paper that you like. And I like the idea of this looking sort of like an old book or newspaper. So I'm just going to trim it out. Now, the leaves are serrated or they have a bunch of little jagged edges on it. You don't have to worry about tracing over every one of those edges. You just get the basic shape of that leaf and then let your scissors do the rest of the work. This is not hard to do. Tracing it on the back so you don't see it on the front, and because I can see it better on the white for when I cut it out. Go around and around. And I actually end up making 3 of these. Later on, you'll see the third one. It's kind of one of those hindsight things, right? This is your friendly reminder that you are not alone. If you are starting out on your journey and you don't know where to go from here, you just ask questions. Just start. Don't hesitate. Show your creativity. We all have a little bit of that artist in us, right? You might not believe it, but I promise you, if you just try and you just get going, you will build your confidence. I've been doing this channel for 4 years now. 4. That's a lot of practice for me, especially when I started off with 3 videos a week and then now it's 2 videos a week. That's a lot of work, but it gave me a lot of practice, right? And I know that you can do it too. You're not alone in your journey. All right, we're cutting this out. You can see how I'm twisting the paper and the scissors to get my shape. I like the look of that one. And then on this one, you can see I just traced it out really smoothly. And then I'll use my scissors to kind of make little back and forth motions to make the little ridges that you see in a leaf. Back and forth and back and forth. And I think those are going to work. For a little additional detail, you can take a pencil, trace a light line down the middle, kind of giving yourself some reference from the leaves that you have, how they look. You can kind of trace that out just lightly. And then drawing some more of that veining on the leaves. Easy enough to do. You could paint these on. If you were confident with a marker, you could do that. But I want this to be sort of inspiration for you to see what you could do if you wanted to. Now, if you take your finger and you rub that, you'll kind of blur that out. This is something that my friend Trish from Crafting Cousins does. And I think this is a good way to kind of recess that line and just kind of fade it out a little bit. Give some good dimension. Now choose your leaves, whichever ones you want to use. I'm going to go over here with my bigger ribbon. It has a wire in it, and I like the size of this compared to the size of the pumpkin. I think a single easy bow here is going to work perfectly for the top. We want elegant and simplistic, yet rich and beautiful and dark and moody. This I think is going to be perfect. And this is fall inspired dark and moody. We're using the leaves and just showing you that, not everybody likes fall with bright orange. Some people like a darker, richer look. So this is what I'm doing this. This is how I decided to do these fall videos for you guys, because people have been asking, and I wanted to show you that it is doable. Just change your mindset a little bit, change your color scheme a little bit, and take the inspiration. And if you don't like moody, then you can always do this same thing in the different colors. Now, I like the size of the bow. I used about 3 feet of that ribbon to make it. You can put it off to the side. So I was looking at it to see, would I like it to the side or right in the center? And I decided to kind of do it in the center. So I just pulled it over. I do have that wire around the middle of it. This is just florist wire, and I'm going to twist it tight. You can use some type of a twine to tie your bow on if you would like, or you could use a thin ribbon. Totally up to you how you want to do that. I'm just going to tuck those ends right in between the ribbon that is on the stem to hide it and protect our surface. By the way, you do not want to use heat on these velour type fabrics or velvet type fabrics, because when I was trying to remove some of the glue on the back, it was actually kind of scorching the fabric. So yeah, you don't want to do that on the front. Definitely don't want to do that on the front. Just a little public announcement there. Now you can dovetail your ends. You can do whatever you like with the ends of your ribbon. And start laying out your leaves to see which ones you want to use and what type of pattern you want to use. I'm loving these colors, and I don't think I have ever, maybe one time years ago, done this color scheme on my channel. So I'm happy to bring this to y'all, and I really do hope that you enjoy this and the next project. So let me know in the comments, is this what you had in mind for Moody Fall in your own home? Are these things that you would use in your own home if you have a Moody scheme in your house or a Moody decor in your home? I'm just going to tuck these here and there around the bow. This is easy to do. Little hot glue is going to hold it in place. Now these leaves came in a package. Oh, I probably have had these for a few years now. You know, in some multi-packs of leaves, they have darker leaves, lighter leaves, just a variety of colors. Well, I picked out all the darker ones that I wasn't using and put them in a Ziploc bag together. So that's why I had all these. And some of them look like they came from different packages. Very pretty, I think. And I was so glad to have these, to find these, and be able to use these. I almost want it to look like the leaves are falling or cascading down the pumpkin. I like that, cascading. That's fancier, right? Now you can bend your leaves to give them a little bit of, texture, to give them a little lift like this one. You can bend the edges. You can crumble it and then open it back up so it's wrinkly, like, perhaps a leaf would be if it was laying on the ground. It's totally up to you. I am going to give you a little, another option for your leaves, the ones that we cut out, in just a moment. So hang tight. I'm going to give you another option. I like the look of that. Very pretty and simple. We'll add another one in. I'm going to add one underneath here. This is how it goes when I do any type of arranging. I just kind of look at it from all angles, and just tuck and add things in where I feel like it needs to be. So I have another leaf here. I'm going to use this smaller leaf pattern and cut this one out. Same process. I want you to check out the description box below. If you want to spend a little more time with us, you want to go on a cruise, you deserve it. We work hard, right? So really think about it. We're going to tuck this one in here. Nice. I like that. My daughter's hand is going to make an appearance here. Hello. That's my daughter. She wanted to say hi. She said, Mama, can I put my hand in the video? And I said, of course you can. So she's just waving. Okay, now I'm going to add right in the middle a little cameo. You can add a jewel here, you can add a brooch here, you can put a butterfly, whatever you like. I'm going to take a thin piece of this, well, it's just like a ribbon, but it's really, really thin, almost like a string. And I'm going to tie a double knot in here, and this is what we're going to use as our hanger. I'll place it down, and then we'll just add hot glue and another scrap of ribbon to kind of hold it in place. Have y'all ever used these pumpkin forms before? I would love to know. They are huge. They are well worth the $1.25 you pay for them, and there are so many different options. I'm going to link a video for y'all to watch next on other ways that you can decorate these pumpkins. All right, so I'm taking a little bit of antiquing wax, and this brush is a little bit thicker than I thought it was. I was looking for a finer application, and I got it a little bit thick, so just, pretend like it's not so thick, but you get the idea. You could use this instead of using the pencil, just to have a little bit of veining in your leaves if you like. And you can also go around your edges and deepen that up. Totally up to you. Make it your own. That's what it's all about. If it's something you enjoy and it brings a little happiness to you and a smile when you see it, then it's perfect and exactly what it needs to be for your home. Home is what we make of it, right? Make it something you love. Make it a reflection of what you enjoy and love. Now, don't get this on your beautiful fabric. We don't want to do that. I love this little fat squatty pumpkin. I like it very much. And this is the first look. So you could hang this on a solid door, on a, it's too wide for a storm door, I think, but you could definitely put it in your house. It's very pretty. I'm using the back of a chair that I recycled, and that's what I'm hanging mine on. So you could actually do this at your home. Lean it up by your fireplace. Hey, come check out my new videos on Mondays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. I'll see you in the comments. The next project is the Dollar Tree Queen of Fall. We're going to use some oil rubbed bronze spray paint because I like it. It's slightly metallic. Some more of those beautiful leaves, some building blocks, some recycled greenery, some little roses I got from Temu. This is from Dollar Tree. Love her. Thought I had the man too, but I don't, but here she is. Going to use some more of the velour. We're going to use the black, and we're going to use that lovely wine color and a canvas from Dollar Tree. You don't even have to take it out of the plastic. All right, so we're going to take that pants leg, and we're just going to put that right down in the pants leg. Make sure that your seams are on each side. This is so easy. I'm using the black on the bottom, so this is black on the canvas. We're going to mix it up though. All right, so we're going to make sure we have a little excess. I have about 1.5 inches left on this end. I felt it with my hand, and now I'm cutting it out. Make sure you have it on the other end too. I'm going to cut little slits and trim off the excess. This is the end that is the ankle part of the pants, so it already has a hem in it. I'm going to trim that elastic piece off. It's thick. We don't want it in the way, so we're just going to cut that off. I will run some hot glue between the canvas and the leg of the pants or the fabric. I'm going to trim down those corners again. I didn't want to cut off too much and have that canvas showing, so now I'm going to cut it again. And this is going to be the flap that goes right over the top. So we're sealing the canvas inside of there. Press that in place, flip it around, and we'll work on the other side. I'm going to cut that at a slant as well, and this side too. And really you could cut them both, I suppose, at the same time, but you know. Sometimes I like to do things the hard way. Same thing on this side. I'm going to add some glue between the fabric and the canvas. Press that down. Cut the corners, seal it in. All right, we're going to put that aside. Take this spray paint her. I did both sides because I wasn't entirely sure which way I wanted her to face. And I like that. I'm going to take this adhesive spray, take it outside, spray the back, and then we'll come back in and put it down on the fabric. Now this time we've got that beautiful jewel tone fabric in the back. So we have the black on the canvas and we have that very pretty red on there. I am using these as weights to hold it down. I originally had the weights on the corners so that the fabric would not wrinkle as I was applying it. Once you remove your weights, and really this is almost instant. You don't even have to wait. I just did. I took a coffee break. We all need excuses for coffee and water, don't we? So I just took a coffee break. I'm going to do the bulk of the cutting. You can see how this is stuck on so well, no problem. None at all. Got a little lint to pick off here, of course. And then you want to take some sharp scissors. The smaller, probably the better, since you're getting in all these little narrow places, and you're going to fussy cut all the way around here. Believe me, it's worth it. It is so worth it. It's going to be a little bit of fuzziness probably showing underneath, but it's not going to be enough to make a difference. I'm going to take some of this copper colored paint, put it on some paper, and grab a little sponge brush, and I am going to just dab it all the way around the edges. I don't want solid coverage here. I want to be able to see that bronze underneath and that copper on the top of it. So I'm going to go all around and make her frame very pretty. You can use whatever type of color you want to use on here, or you could just leave it one color and don't do anything fancy. I decided I wanted to give her copper hair because why not? She could be, the ginger girl could definitely be a queen. So I'm going to take this and add this all over where her hair is, like the ginger goddess she is, my little ginger queen. And I'm just putting that on about the same type of application as I did around the edges. I'm not making this a solid color. I want it to look old and aged. Go all around the edges. Now be careful that you don't get on your fabric underneath. This was a hindsight kind of thing. You could always paint it first, if that makes it easier for you. All right, so here's some of that metal ribbon you can get from Dollar Tree. It's in the gardening section. I've cut a piece out. I love that it looks like leaves. I think it's perfect for this. This is going to be her crown. So I've got my measurement right, and I'm going to paint it now. I'm using some black chalk paint on the bottom so that the metallic paint will really pop when we put it on there. It's going to cover up that, the metal color, I guess you could say. It's going to cover all that up, and it's going to go with that warmer tone that I love that's on her hair. I'm going to give her that beautiful changing of the season look. You can either allow this to dry on its own, or you can dry it with your heating tool. And then I'm going to take some more of that same color, once it is dry, of course, and I'm going to just dab this all over here. You can make this as thick as you want to. I don't want to make this, I want to be able to see the black. I want to see the shadows and the color underneath. But look how pretty that looks. Kind of rusted, kind of, oh, I love it. I think it's perfect for fall. Oh, it's going to be lovely. Okay, so it's dry now. I want to trace this so I can move it aside, and we'll see where we're going to start putting down her flowers. I got a line here for reference, so I know where to put my greenery and things on top, or my coppery, whatever you want to call it. I've chosen some leaves. I'm going to put those down. I'm going to cut off the little stem parts because you don't really need that. They just kind of overhang and push the leaf up, and we don't want to want to have all that extra stuff on there. Just take it off. It's going to make it neater. And then you can put your leaves down any way you want. I'm going to pretty much cover up the little roses that she has on her head, but we're going to put down fabric roses instead. So this is going to be kind of, well, it's definitely going to be an improvement. Let's just put it that way. And in doing this, you can really make this your own. A little bit of glue. And I'm just, since I know where my placement is going to be, I'm going to hold it in place and then kind of flip it over and put the glue on the back, put it right back down. And really, if you just wanted to do the leaves, you could leave it right here and that would be fine. But for me, this is our base, and we're going to add some roses to here. I like that the roses are not an orangey color. This is more of the color that's reflected behind her, and I like that. It just blends together. It's just very smooth and textured. I just like all of this. Now go ahead and get your florals from the Dollar Tree if you want to. Totally fine. We're going to press these in place. Looking all around, I decided to grab this. I thrifted this. It looks like it was from Michael's about a coon year ago. But, you know, when you see something you like, you just get it. This little pick came off of something else that I thrifted. I thought that would be really pretty in the top to add a little extra length and kind of go outside of the shape. I've got little berries that was on that greenery. I'm going to take those off and add those in. I'm pulling this down a little and trimming off the end of that stem. And see, we're going above the line that we drew on there. Going above it. You can't put that back down on there if you've got stuff in the way. But I like the idea of it slightly overlapping. Add some more of the beautiful leaves on there. And I just pulled them off, and you can just cut them off of other branches, whatever colors you like. Go get your little bucket that's got all your little scraps and extras in there. You could certainly use that. your little fall scraps. You could go in the yard, you can get an acorn, you could get some pressed leaves, you can use waxed leaves. Just have at it. Make it your own. I've got those little bundles of the roses I'm just going to put in between. I've got this colored eucalyptus and these berries. I'm going to tuck those in. You can cut your pieces down to make them shorter so it's not too big, so that it looks a little proportionate. Adding in some more roses. What do y'all think about these colors? I think this is very pretty. Very elegant. And I'm just looking at it, taking my time to look at it. I try to edit out all the times when I'm staring at it, because, you know, y'all don't get a benefit from that. But it does take me some time to make decisions too, just like it does you. I'll look at it, kind of sit with it for a minute, may walk off, come back to it and decide what I want to do. Look at my other florals and greenery and decide what's going to fit well, you know. So I know that I'm going to put this back on here. I don't want to use any type of a super glue because it's hard to make it lay flat and all that. So I'm going to use this double stick tape that I get from Temu. You can also find this at, it's called Alien Tape. You can get this at Walmart. I am going to add this down, just taking it in little tiny sections and putting it on the bottom of that so that you can't see it through the leaves that are on the top. And I'll put it back on that line that we drew. You see how it overlaps a little bit onto our greenery? I love that because it looks like that entire headpiece is just kind of down into the crown, like it's part of the crown. And I think it's such a pretty look. Oh, I love her. She's so pretty. You could add earrings. You could put a necklace on her. You could do a brooch. You could put beads or rhinestones around the edge of her frame here if you wanted to. The sky's the limit, honestly, with this. You got so many options, so many different ways you can do her. So on the back, I wanted to add some dimension against that black canvas. I'm feeling for solid spots where I'm not just pressing it onto fabric. And I'm using these as risers. You can also use some of those square, like puffy stickers for this, or the wood Jenga blocks that you get from Dollar Tree. These are actually originally from Target. It was an Easter set of building blocks. That's why they're purple. But I use them a lot. And then you can place her down on there. I'm seeing where I want her to be. I'm going to add some glue on those little riser pieces. I'm standing above this to make sure that I kind of get it in the right place. I like to use my hands and fingers as kind of a measurement, and then I'll press it down into there. The idea is to get that glue to go all the way through the fabric and onto the canvas so nothing moves. And to finish this little beauty off, we are going to add butterflies wherever you like. You see all the options. These butterflies come in a huge package from Dollar Tree. I didn't have any moths, so I thought, well, we'll use butterflies because where I live, we still have butterflies when it's warm outside. And it's always warm here. Just put these wherever you want. They could be all the way around her frame. I like the idea of one standing right there. And she's just too cute to me. Think of all those cutouts you can get from Dollar Tree and different ways that you can use those. And the pumpkin wreath form too. I mean, so many different ways. So for my hanger, I'm just going to use some of that same satin ribbon and just a little bit of glue to put this on the back. It's about 14 inches. Then I wanted to add a little bit more color down here on the bottom. So I decided to add a few more of the leaves. I still had them. I mean, so why not use them? You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I think it makes a pretty look. And that is how she is going to look. She's a pretty girl. She's a ginger fall beauty queen. Yes, she is. So cute. Here she is displayed on that same chair back in all of her fall and autumn glory. Thank you so much for being here today with me and taking my instruction and feeling inspired by it. I want you to know that I do believe in you, and I know that these are things that you can do on your own. That's why I do my channel. I would love it if you would check out this next video. Thanks for stopping by.